My name's Anthony Coda. I wrote you guys a little something for this occasion, if that's okay. I would like to first thank the Women Against Gun Violence and Margaret Bennett specifically for having me here tonight. If you didn't know, they've been fighting for our safety since 1993, which is incredible. I'm in awe of the stamina and commitment. I also would like to thank those that are involved in this important documentary, Making a Killing. Standing up to the NRA, as I recently have learned, comes with backlash. And I applaud all those that have the courage to do so. I just received an email saying I was a target. Ugh. And as you can all see, I don't really care. I'm here. I think back to when I was a kid, the excitement and fear as my friends and I went into my parents' closet to get my father's rifle. It was loaded next to a box of shells underneath his jeans. Later that year, my brother and his friends did the same thing. However, one of the kids shot the tip of his ear off by accident. I think of the first time I was affected by suicide, a 14-year-old boy, another one of my friend's brothers, who suffered from depression, shot himself with his father's gun. That gun had hung over their fireplace. I think of the first time I had a gun pulled on me. It was during a traffic stop. I was 16, and according to the police, driving recklessly. I had been doing 39 in a 35. It just so happened I was in the nicest neighborhood in my town, where most people don't look like I do. I think of the first mass shooting I was conscious of, Columbine. At that age, I too felt weird and awkward, yet couldn't fathom why the shooters chose to murder kids to express themselves. And how did they get so much ammo? All this happened before I was 17, just a kid with a messed up home, a hate of going to school, and a fear of my backward town. Then one day, I found heaven on earth. A friend of mine told me to lie to my parents and say I was staying over at his house, and he told his parents he was staying at mine. We piled a ton of other crazy, weird kids into a 2-seater car and drove downtown. As we parked on what must have been the worst street in my town, we started to hear the pulsating beats coming from a dark alley. We had arrived to a place where you can be who you are. What you aren't didn't matter, and what they said about you couldn't harm you. I had arrived at my first gay nightclub. It's not that other mass shootings didn't affect me. It's not that the hourly domestic murders and preventable accidental shootings hadn't affected me either. It's that Orlando just pushed me over the edge. Because I can imagine those people who tried to forget their daily persecution from their family, society, and various religious backgrounds just for one night. I ask all of you, if you were like me, can you remember hiding your outfit in a bag, getting dressed in the back seat of your friend's car, arriving underneath the mirror ball and dancing away your fears? I can. That's all they wanted. And in the middle of someone's favorite song, bullets rang out. Lives lost and lives affected forever. It took me a long time to feel comfortable enough to say that I am fluid, but I am now a proud bisexual man. Funny, it's taken me much longer to be proud of my country. Things don't make sense to me in these United States sometimes, but what makes this country amazing is that we, the people, run it. If the people I vote for don't choose to pass legislation that protects me, if companies continue to sell or support weapons of mass destruction, and if people who should never be allowed to own a gun have the ability to do so, I can and will, under Constitution of the United States, use my voice and my body to demand change. Gays Against Guns is a 8-week-old direct action group that I'm a part of. We are a confrontational counter movement We have found the power and mobility of the masses. Screw the politicians who allow the NRA to whisper in the ears and control their votes. All people, no matter what your sexual orientation, ethnicity, or background, are invited to join us. We are about radical action so as to bring attention to accountability to gun manufacturers and to the violence caused by lax gun laws. You can join us inside of your gift bags. There are flyers at Gaze Against Guns LA, which is on Facebook, as well as gazeagainstguns.net. And you can also personally reach out to me, Anthony Coda Lopez, on Instagram or my Facebook page, Anthony Coda Lopez Fund. Gaze Against the Guns believes love is love is love is love is love is action. And to the NRA, its followers, and especially the one who threatened my life, I invite you to get on board and work with us. But I assure you, one thing, change is going to come. Thank you.